Hey there, college freshies. I know we're all here in college at the big U of M now, but I wanted to do a little flashback to high school. But whether you peaked in high school or not, I want to tell you some things in high school that might have shaped who you maybe are today. My name is Ara Anderson, and I'm going to talk about some of the different experiences and opportunities we had in our high school experience that can or has affected us through life or college. I feel as though we might have had many different experiences than each other in high school because of these three main things: how diverse your school was, the size of your student body, and the opportunities your high school may have been able to give you. Because of these things, over our high school experience may have looked a little different from each other, but also who you were at the person at the time in high school. So I talked to some friends of mine, and I might have went to the cafeteria to interview some of these people. So you will be able to see some people I know personally and some people I just met. And we are going to learn a little bit about each high school experience we had and what we've learned from them. What is your name?
I'm Savannah Smith. I went to James Island Charter High School in Charleston, South Carolina.
Hi, I'm Netra Jasekar. I'm from Sri Lanka. I went to an all-girls high school called Muses College in Sri Lanka.
My name's Evan. I went to Crosby.
Autumn, Brainerd High School.
Mary Ramsey. Hudson High School in Ohio.
I'm AJ. I went to Egan High School.
My name is Arvin.
I'm Arian.
And I'm Anna.
We all went to Shakopee High School.
Sean. I went to Richfield High School, about 15 minutes away.
Whether your high school experience was good or not, I want to dig into the three main points and see how different all of our high school experiences were. So we'll get into the first one, diversity. How diversity in high school can affect students. Depending on where your high school was located, your high school could have been really diverse or not diverse at all. Diversity is more than just race, just so you guys know. It's religion, sexual orientation, disabilities, mental health. Like, diversity is just really broad.
My school is pretty diverse. There's probably 50-50. Gives you a lot of different perspectives and keeps you open-minded.
I wouldn't say it was very diverse because it was an all-girls Buddhist school. So, yeah, not very diverse. I feel I'm growing as a person, knowing other people.
It wasn't diverse at all. Yes, I think it would make me more open-minded and give me more perspective.
Not very. Everyone can benefit from diversity because it just gives you more points of view and perspectives and makes you more cultured and brings you down different walks of life.
Not at all. We were in kind of like an affluent suburb of Cleveland and Akron, so the majority of our student body was white. I can only think of like a handful of people who weren't Christian in our grade.
Diversity in school is important.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think it's realistic to have every single high school have tons of diversity because like you can't control the demographic of people who live there. So if there's not diversity, I guess, in like a physical form, there should be in teachings and representation for children. It's really important for kids to see themselves represented in a positive light, historical figures represented, kind of like decolonizing our history is really important. I feel like my school did a pretty good job at that, but still wasn't like 100%.
Yeah, I do think it's important because, like, I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's all about, like, culture and, like, sharing experiences with one another. And, yeah.
I think it was actually pretty diverse compared to other schools. Not like YZETA or anything like that, but definitely diverse. It had a broad range of different ethnic backgrounds, so I'd say pretty diverse.
I mean, yeah, I think it is. Especially at Shakopee, I think we were able to learn from different people's experiences and stuff. And the University of Minnesota is diverse as well, so I think people benefit from that.
My high school is actually really diverse. I believe it was like 40% Hispanic, 20% Somali, 10% Black, and the rest was white, I believe. I think it's just good to get like a sense of like every culture you can, and like not get like too, not sure how to explain it, but just like the experience and like the variety of meeting people from every different culture and race.
There's a lot of importance to having diversity at your school. It allows students to develop into open-minded learners. Having fostered awareness around multicultural education benefits all students. Maybe that's in their education, maybe that's in their personal lives. Having more diversity in school can also help students with all different kinds of backgrounds. Having diversity in high school is not only important because of the fact that kids need to prepare when coming out of high school and are going to be experiencing this really real world. It's also important for people to learn more about ourselves and each other. But also, some things about high school, the size of your high school, that can also determine what kind of high school experience you had also.
About 1,500.
6,000.
400.
2,000.
Close to 2,000.
We have about 700 per grade, so it'd be 2,800 to 3,000.
I had a pretty small class. A class about 240, so about 1,000 total.
One thing I learned in Welcome Week coming into college is where people went to high school and how many people went to that high school. So you may not think the size of your high school matters, but there's so much more that goes into play with it than you may think. Depending on the population of the high school can also depend on how many opportunities some students may be getting, like clubs, sports, one-on-one time with teachers. All of these things are supposed to be part of your high school experience, right? So some schools, there aren't enough kids to join sports, clubs, which can suck for students because that means opportunities for some kids are just not there. So I'm guessing the people with smaller schools had a little bit of a different high school experience. But nevertheless, opportunities in high school are important for students. It helps students explore their interests, develop potential career goals they might have. Also, students involved in extracurricular activities that impresses so many colleges and college administration. So students in a bigger high school might get more of a chance to have these opportunities so they can make their resume look better for colleges for their future goals. Having all these different opportunities in high school, students learn more how to collaborate. They learn what it means to be and do teamwork and leadership.
They did, yeah. I was in tennis all 4 years. It was a good experience. Taught you how to be part of a team and work towards the same goal.
Yes, we did. We were known for being like a sports school, involved in swimming, synchronized swimming, and rowing. I mainly rowed though. And I learned teamwork and dedication.
No. I was in basketball and track. Teamwork, leadership, and motivation.
Yeah. We had everything from like robotics to the environmental club to lacrosse to football and everything in between. I was in robotics and I was also in soccer and track. Learned about teamwork for one, but I've also learned not to judge a book by its cover, specifically in robotics.
Yeah, we had a lot. I was involved in a lot. I was in French Honor Society, French Club, bowling team, senior captain of the bowling team. How to work with people. I think some people are pretty freaking difficult, especially when you're very different with how you want to approach a situation. And it teaches you how to lead, because there are going to be some people who are like left out or like might be different. You kind of have to put some stuff aside and just lead with kindness and respect always.
Like we had like just about every sport and like theater, like all the normal ones. I think we had a lot. I would say lacrosse for the most part taught me about just like teamwork and like working together, and I feel like that transitioned well to here. I'm going into science and engineering major. You need to I feel like you need to like work together in that. So yeah, I feel like
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, a lot actually. A lot of opportunities.
That's a good question. Extracurriculars, I feel like me and him, we did a lot of the same ones. So we learned how to communicate, I would say mainly.
Okay.
So you get to talk to different types of people and do different types of things. So it just makes you more adaptable, and
Yeah.
you learn how to communicate, which applies to everything. So
Yeah.
it helps in a broad range of ways.
Perfect.
It did. We had just a lot of sports. So you had opportunities. Well, I did a lot of volunteer work, especially with kids. So I learned a lot about like helping younger kids and like leadership roles in schools. I mean, it's not like we're doing anything too crazy, but yeah.
And also, depending on how many students are in your school, whether your school is overpopulated or there's so many students where the classroom sizes are really small. So what I'm saying is this. Think of a classroom with 20 students in it, and think of a classroom with about 35 students crammed into it. Which classroom do you think is going to be getting more quality one-on-one time with the teachers if they need it?
Probably about 25. I would, yeah, they were pretty good.
Like 30 years? No,
No? Why is that?
because our teachers were the best. They did not know the subject they were teaching. Like a geography teacher also taught biology, business studies, economics, and communication.
Probably like about like 10 to 30. Yeah, classes were small, so I got a lot of help.
Like 30? Yeah, I don't think the size of the class really mattered.
Probably max like 30. I was definitely an overachiever, always. So I always asked for help if I needed it.
Maybe like 30, sometimes more, sometimes less, give or take. Oh yeah, they'd provide like, we had a lot of teaching and like a lot of like assistant teaching too. Like we had a lot of opportunities for tutoring too, so like if you needed that you could get it, but I feel like I did have a lot of help for that. So.
Okay.
It was about 30. Actually, I never had a problem with that, so yeah, I'd say I got that.
Could get up to like 30 or 40. For my class, yes, but I heard over the time it has been slowly getting worse. For my little brother, personally, he's been experiencing it, teacher shortages and like bus driver shortages. So for me, it was good, but I heard it's getting a bit worse.
This is one problem with having an overpopulated school, but let's talk about how sometimes overpopulated schools can benefit some students. So one thing about having more people at your school means it's going to bring more diversity in personalities. It entails that students are going to get more chances to find like their people, like friends and stuff. Students being around all different kinds of personalities can help students communicate with all different kinds of people in the future. And ending it with this, whatever kind of view you had on your high school experience, it helped you grow no matter what. High school is the perfect opportunity to figure out your strengths and interests, figure out a little bit more about who you are before you're out of high school and have to basically kind of figure it out, because that's the first thing you do when you're out of high school. You figure out what is your next step in life. Hopefully this video brought back some good high school memories, because I know filming it did for me.